All right, top of the morning, top of the evening, top of the night, whatever time zone you are on, I am live really quick. A moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives. Let's remember this. If we can look up, we can get up, we can get up, we can go up. Um, Rosemont, Donald E. Stephens III, you've been put on leave by your uncle, the superintendent of Rosemont Public Safety Department. Also, to the mayor of the village of Rosemont, Godspeed on you losing your seat during this election cycle. All right, with that being said, hello again, everybody. I go into a bit of Lauren Hill, and then we go nice it up while others like to slice it up on this information. Let's go. Give me a little something. Come on, Lauren. Give me a little song real quick, because I gotta nice it up while they like to slice it up. Got the plane so I can go ripped up jeans and a Balenciaga mama with dreads and who like to sing salsa la sagana. I'm in the short so like a Lola Falana. Bird true lions, code name Black Madonna. Reach a girl and got a headgear from Guatemala. With no bars like my back, now I live on under. The nine kids they want us watch fashion, we go bananas. Watch fashion, we go bananas. Watch fashion, we go bananas. Let's go. I think original, I heard the paradigm. Call me the red tape, call me the mastermind. See how I nice it up on this rhythm. So many wanna nice it up on this rhythm. I think original, I heard the paradigm. So many, the rhythm. See how we nice it up on the rhythm. Nice it up, yeah. So stop acting like you didn't know I'm singing my song. I swoop down on the speech like I had wings on my arms. Transcendent, speak truth like I wrote the amendments. Sorry if you're finished, the truth and the names. Birds, bees, and trees will probably tell you the same. Mention my name is the same, they like to the brain. How she should do the thing, how she should raise the flame. We conquer before we came, we conquer before we came. Emojis in all flames. And the game was never the same. And the game was never the same. And I'm thinking original, I've heard the paradigm. Call me the red tape, call me the master. See how we nice it up on this rhythm. So many wanna nice it up on this rhythm. See this is X-Factor, he took the sample. My shit is classic, it's an example of how we nice it up on this rhythm. So many wanna nice it up. See this is X-Factor, he took the sample. My shit is classic, it's an example of how we nice it up on this rhythm. So many wanna nice it up. All right, with that being said, because we're going out on Lauren, let's get to this. Hey, John, what's up? How you doing, John? Right. Thanks for those documents that you sent the other day. Greatly appreciated. But Rosemont, about time y'all start waking up. Now, a few years back, I said challenge those seats in the village of Rosemont. But let me get to this news. Um, to the J4K community and those of us who have been in the village of Rosemont and others who have been working towards justice, this right here, the suspension of Donald Stephens III, well, he's been put on leave. The superintendent of the public safety department,
is long overdue. Let me get to this share real quick, and I will explain to you why. It was the village of Rosemont that conducted the Kanika Jenkins investigation. True or false? True. Well, the village of Rosemont owns the village of Rosemont. The Stephan family owns the village of Rosemont, and they have family members who still sit on the board of the Crown Plaza O'Hare Hotel, right? Remember, their family established that hotel and they sold it. They still got family members who sit on the board. So what type of justice did you think you was gonna get? And who is surprised that mysteriously, we don't know what the chain of custody is for the hard drives being authenticated and validated prior to it getting to the police hands. All right, so let's move on to the information. This right here is long overdue. And finally, somebody is contending for that seat, the mayor's seat, because I mentioned that a few years back when I was there. Get them up out those seats. All right, let's get to this. Let's get to it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. So, Chicago Sun-Times, which is one of my favorite, good, John. One of my favorite sources to read from is the Chicago Sun-Times because they seem to be a little bit more non-biased in some of the articles that they post. All right, and want to get to the information. Rosemont Mayor puts his nephew, the police chief, on leave for unspecified reasons. Well, you don't say. In addition to y'all playing all them games for the last 3 years, as it relates to this case. Well, let me move on. Yeah, let me move on. Yeah, let me blow it up a little. Let me blow it up just a little, just a little. And again, uh, Mayor Stephens, Godspeed on you losing your seat as the mayor in the village of Rosemont. I mean that. All right. Rosemont mayor puts his nephew, the police chief, on leave for unspecified reasons. It's a bunch of reasons I can specify, but I'll leave that alone. Sources told the Sun-Times that Mayor Bradley Stephens acted after being approached by members of his nephew, Donald E. Stephens III department, with concerns about his leadership and conduct. Who's surprised? Reveal time. This is the superintendent of the village of Rosemont in the state of Illinois, the Stephens family. These are the ones who said they didn't want the FBI to come in and investigate the Kanika Jenkins death. Him, these ones, Rosemont family, the Stephens family, who owns Rosemont. Them, yeah, who sits on the board of everything in Rosemont. Okay, yeah. Anyway, his uncle finally put him on leave. But not without warrant because he's in a battle for his seat. Ever since the village of Rosemont was founded in the 1950s in the shadow of the O'Hare Airport by the late Mayor Donald E. Stephens Sr., the Stephens family, the Stephens family, however you want to pronounce it, has held a tight grip on power in a tiny but political, powerful northwest suburb and tight lid on problems. It kept a tight lid on problems. We already knew it was some issues the day Kanika Jenkins was found dead in a freezer that she didn't walk in. Yeah. Wednesday, the Stephens son and the successor, Mayor Bradley Stephens, acknowledged that he has placed his nephew, Donald E. Stephens, on a leave as superintendent of Rosemont Public Safety Department which includes cross-trained police officers and firefighters. These were the ones who were in there to conduct the death investigations that it related to the Kenneka Jenkins incident. Let me connect the dots for you. The Stephan family owns the entire village of Rosemont. Their family member has been sitting on the board of everything at the village of Rosemont since the 50s. And that includes the hotel that she was found dead inside the freezer. Don't play. I did not come here to play. All right. Contacted by the Chicago Times, the mayor, who's also a Republican, state legislator, locked into a tough race against a Democratic candidate backed by Illinois House Speaker Michael, declined to answer and come to the phone. Quite naturally, you're not coming to the phone. You're too busy sending out post copies of hard drives that people didn't ask for. You're too busy allowing that to take place. You're too busy still deflecting and spinning on this Kenneka Jenkins case. Well, guess what? Godspeed to you losing your seat as mayor. I hope that happens swiftly. Yeah, you need to go home. Yeah. Then they want to come out, PR. Rosemont Public Safety Director Don Stevens have requested a personal leave of absence from his position, and it was granted by his uncle, so on and so forth, whatever. But he on a leave, and the department will continue to operate under its current chain of commands. Still they family. This is the mayor. The village of Rosemont. This is the mayor that roughly around 2 years ago, when we showed up to exercise our constitutional rights to protest and assemble, that's going to tell us to get out the street. The street is public. They tried to box us in on a sidewalk. Sidewalk and streets public. You. Godspeed on you losing your seat. Rosemont, it's about time y'all woke up and started running for those offices in there. Now, thank you for listening and challenging less than the status quo. Hey, Mac, how you doing? So here it is. He's in a battle for his seat in the village of Rosemont. Godspeed on him losing, period. Finally sent his nephew home, suspended his nephew, the superintendent of the Rosemont Public Safety Department. So what? I don't care if you at home. Good. Finally, employees finally started putting some more pressure on all that foolishness and the shenanigans they've been running in the village of Rosemont. Finally. Now, with that being said, oh, and Butchie Boy, hi Butchie Boy. With that being said, this has been some of the most advantageous news for me, indeed. Also, as I get ready to end the live, I would like to remind people there is still pending litigation as it pertains to the estate and death of Kenneka Jenkins. Believe that. So, start connecting the dots. Oh, what a tangled web gets weaved when staff have to start answering questions and showing up and responding to depositions. Sworn testimonies, under oath. Oh, what a tangle web we weave. Again, Godspeed on Donald Stephens losing his seat as mayor. And Godspeed on all of the real information as it pertains to this case and some form of real justice being obtained. Yeah. You said, is it a chance that the nephew may be siding with his uncle's opponent? No, he's not siding with his uncle's opponent. What happened was staff have been reporting, they had been reporting on the culture within the Rosemont Public Safety Department for years. Well, guess what? A new fire was lit and kindled underneath them, and they started complaining again. Now, this time, Uncle Stephens is putting his nephew on a leave because he's in a battle for his seat. And there's a strong possibility that he's gonna lose that authority, his position and his power in the village of Rosemont. It's time for a paradigm shift. Yeah. With that being said, we stop the share on this. And I'm gonna go back out on Lauren Hill. And remember this, if we can look up, we can get up, we can get up, we can go up. We are still in a pandemic. Everybody have a super fantastic day. Stay vigilant and stay safe. Let me go back into the music. And again, we stand for justice till we get it. Won't stop, can't stop. Ain't no sleeping in Rosemont. Pleasant evening and a pleasant night. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll drop the link to the article below.